What is up? Welcome to my channel. If you are coming back, thanks for stopping in and checking out what we got going on. It's been a second, but we are gonna get our G-body put inside and get it thrown on the lift, and we got a whole massacre of a situation to get into. This whole car has been changed up, and then we found a whole bunch of broken parts, so it's got to come down to a rolling shell again. Me and Jack got to run over to the steel store quick, so come along with us, and then the building is full of all new stuff too. I've never been in that building, but it's also full. What are we after, Jack?
I'm trying to find a sleeve for this rod so I can go around it and put 2 bars on the edge of it and make it mount. It comes off and over to my frame. But I need a sleeve so that this can pivot inside the sleeve. So I see the rest of it's gone.
And I may have forgot to mention, we now have a dump truck. So we're gonna take it and go dump the scrap metal out of it as long as it stays running long enough to do that. It runs pretty good, really, right?
Not bad, honestly.
It just got warm up. It's cold-blooded as shit. It's old. It's old and tired. But if we mess around long enough, it's gonna get an LS in it too. So might be a little beat up in an old trusty GMC top kick thingy-mabob, but it works good. It's got a 4-speed with a 2-speed rear end, and I have no idea if the PTO works. This is my dump truck. We're gonna get into all kinds of shenanigans. Worst case scenario, that thing's gonna end up a ramp truck so I can haul my race car around. So there is kind of an end goal with it if nothing else happens to it, but we're gonna use it for now until it pays itself back. All right, so far so good. We made it through the one little town that I live by, and we're just out cruising on the old highway, minding our own, doing about 40 mile an hour is what it says. I suppose it feels about like 35, 40, I guess, yeah. Jack just got the heat going a little bit.
Oh, yeah,
nice,
it's blowing
nice.
out right now. I had to close my floor vent.
Floor vent was going. Cruising. Oh, I have no idea what that stuff is. Oh, spotlight probably.
Is there a spotlight up there?
I don't know. I know there's a beacon on the roof. No, officer. I'm just going to a construction site. It'll be okay. By God, the bed even works. Jack, the bed works. Look at this. Yes. All we got. Wasn't off all the way, but we're getting there. We're out of the way. All right. This thing's kind of a handful to drive. I'm not gonna lie. I don't have a whole lot of time driving it, other than to my house from when I bought it. But it made the first trip, and that's all that matters. This is our local scrap yard. So this place actually owns the steel store that we were at this morning.
The roads are very, very smooth in here, by the way. Almost paved, one would say.
And I'm trying to play with the choke because this thing's not running the best. But Lord knows the last time it was tuned up. I didn't even check the tires if they had air before we left.
Couple of Bobcats sitting over there. Nice trailers.
All right, so before we get to the G-body, I've been bringing you guys along with me all day, and I need to get a project done before I can put the car on the lift because I'm using the lift to build my run stands. So this is the new motor and transmission that I'm going to be using for our next project. And I don't have a engine stand for it because it's occupied by this engine. And in the meantime, I set this engine here because I also don't have a run stand, but this one needs cam and lifters. But anyways, run stand. I would like to give it the option to be able to run with a transmission or not. And all we did was go ahead and throw a bar in there for it to rest on. Nothing crazy. A couple little tabs. I probably will put a plate over these in the future, but right now it is able to roll around out of my damn way. All right, so I'm a little bit out of breath. I just got done moving Jack's bus hood out of the way of the tractor parking. Let's get into this turd and why I pushed it in here. Let's get it in the air. Actually, I changed my mind. Let's take a look inside of it before we lift it up on the lift because it's not gonna come down for a little while. So we have completely changed the interior. I started making the video 2 or 3 times. It just didn't work out the way I wanted it to. All right, let's get into this. So if you come up here, we now have racing seats, harnesses, and a roll cage. So we went ahead and added all this in for a little bit of safety. The car was getting just a little bit too fast for its own good. And we still have the giant pogo stick, aka handbrake, in there. So this is going to be a multi-purpose race car now from here on out. And the reason I say that is because right now that handbrake is plumbed to the rear brakes like it's supposed to be for drifting. But I'm gonna put a selector in there to go to all 4 or just the rear. So when it goes to all 4, I can hold it and load it up. But that gets us into our biggest problem. So let's rack this thing. All right, let's get into it. Let's not waste any time. So the whole bottom of the car got coated in transmission fluid again. The speed sensor fell out. This time the nut backed off of this and the whole speed sensor came out, drug along the highway and wrecked the threads. I came in and I just cut the cables out because you don't need that. You can delete it out of the PCM to where you don't need it. But after I did that, we went ahead and walked up here and saw the unfortunate event of one more cracked bell housing. You can go ahead and chalk this one up to me not maintaining it, because if you can see, the bolt backed out of it. So I probably could have caught this a long time ago. Just lack of maintenance, beating the shit out of one of these. And seeing how much it would actually take, you can see that it is separating. Some of these don't have lock washers on them, some do. Most of them backed out. So what we are going to do to fix this problem so we never, ever, ever, ever have to worry about anything again is we're just gonna go ahead and put this 6-liter with a 4L80 in it. Now, I went and ripped this out of the junkyard. I am about $350 total into both of them. It is supposed to run a drive. I don't know how well or any of that, which brings in the run stand. Since this is a 4L80 and this is a manual harness, I can no longer use this. And for $85, I can get a brand new one for this whole setup. In theory, I should be able to unbolt everything, make it a rolling chassis again, take the harness out, put a harness back in it, take that harness, put it on here, start this motor, make sure it runs half decent, because we are still trying to make Las Vegas. April 22nd, we are leaving. Now, right now, it is just looking like it's me and my buddy Cole going, and Jack might tag along with us. Unfortunately, his builds just aren't far enough along right now, but I'm never going to count it out. He is always surprising everyone, so Not gonna count them out on the trip. I have an absolute ton of updates coming. I got this 5.3 going together. I got the run stand going together. I got that one on the floor. I got the G-body, the Ford truck still in there. That needs a 6-liter and a transmission and all that yet. So we gotta get that done. And then the 59 Chevy, which is sitting in there right next to it, right here, also needs to get a whole bunch of work done. So there's all kinds of projects that are gonna be happening, going on, and we're just gonna start crack-a-lacking on them. This 59 needs a bunch of body work yet, or sheet metal work. We're not probably gonna make it a show truck by no means. So we're gonna slap some body panels in it where it's all rusted out and stuff. Get it back together and just gonna drive it around. Enjoy it for the old farm truck that it is. So welcome to the channel. And if you're coming back, thank you for joining us and subscribing, tagging along with the journey that I call life. And in the next episode of my life, we're gonna start ripping this thing apart. I'm gonna do my best with it, but hopefully every day there's gonna be a new video. If not every day, every other day, but multiple videos a week. Stay tuned. We got tons of projects. We got this, that, this thing, that thing, you name it, we got it. So welcome.